Welcome, everybody, to another episode of First and Last. I am Josh, and I am with Joe.
Hey, man.
And Jamie.
What is up? Man,
Still workshopping that? Or
Yeah, you'll get it one day. You'll get it one day. Well, to tell you what is up, Felicity is up. That is the show we will be watching this evening.
It is up. We have like a very complicated formula that we use to pick our next show. And today, the little wooden ball that falls out of the machine said Felicity.
It's a Rune Goldberg machine that's almost the whole size of my apartment.
A lot of marbles involved.
Yeah, there's a couple gerbils that kind of run around and help with the process. We treat them well, though.
What are the gerbils' names, Joe?
There's 4 of them. Their names are Spotty, Dottie, Roddy, and Felicity.
But we just named that one tonight after the show. That's the newest of the 4 hamsters.
I've been calling him Dawson's Creek since like last week.
I can't wait to ask you next week what the name of these 4 hamsters are.
They're gerbils.
Say, I don't even know already. I can't tell small rodents apart. I thought they were rats for
chinchillas.
I thought they were rats for the past 10 weeks. So,
well, that's why they don't like it when you feed them.
Rat food.
It's just cheese.
What are you? Okay.
Hey, Joe, how does this podcast work?
We record a thing and then we post it to Podient.
God.
And Podient.
Damn it.
Podient handles it from there, and then it gets into our listeners' earballs.
That's right. So if you're new to the First and Last, I hope you know how this podcast works.
Because Joe does not.
Because Joe doesn't know. Well, if you are new to this podcast, you've stumbled upon it through the magic of the internet. First and Last.
You probably have your tacos ready already.
Yes, Get your tacos ready. We're not eating tacos tonight. We're ruining the whole formula. But First and Last is a podcast where we watch the very first episode of a TV show, talk about it, make predictions, and then we watch the very last episode of a TV show and see how we did. And then we judge it based solely on those 2 episodes.
Very harshly.
We prefer to think of it as the best way to watch TV. Yeah. I'm beginning to think it's a really good way to watch TV.
It's really fun.
It's a pretty good way to watch.
It takes
TV.
a lot less time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one night and we're done with a whole show.
Kind of.
It's like a college course on binging, really. It's like the masters.
So consider us your professors.
Tonight we'll be your professors. And speaking of being professor, I think Felicity's about a college girl.
Yeah. College drama.
I literally have no idea.
So before we definitely get into what you think it is, Joe.
Okay.
One thing I would say is I think it's either about a college girl or it's some sort of like Ally McBeal type show where she is maybe a young attorney.
So, Jimmy, you're in the same boat where you don't know what this is about either?
I have no idea, but I have a lot of assumptions based on that it's J.J. Abrams
right,
and Matt Reeves, who are 2 like directors who apparently just have control of sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, one definite is since it's J. Abrams, there's time travel.
Right, there's time travel.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we have heard about this show is that for some reason in this show that didn't necessarily start out as sci-fi, it ends up with time travel.
Yeah.
Because it's J. Abrams. He loves it.
I still get to cash in my pizza bet from episode 7 because there wasn't time travel in that.
I don't recall, and it's not documented anywhere.
Didn't make it on tape.
Didn't make it. I deleted that one.
I'm confusing. I realize I'm confusing a lot of J. Abrams and Joss Whedon and just putting them all into one pile of like Buffy, Lost, Dollhouse, where it's just like female fronted sci-fi.
I mean, Lost was Jack. He was a man.
Well, yeah, I guess I think
Kate
of
was a strong female character.
I think of Kate, yeah.
Or Alias. Was Alias J.J. Abrams or?
Yes. I'm not sure 100%. I didn't really watch Alias either. Surprise, surprise. I did have one friend in college who had Alias nights.
What
about-
what episode is Alias for the listeners who want to skip ahead?
22.
And it shall be so.
You should probably write that down so we know to do that then. Stay tuned.
So as to not make you a liar.
It's literally in. This is episode 11, so that would be 11 episodes.
It is J.J. Abrams.
Okay, there
Hey!
What about that Jessica Alba show, like Dark Angel? Is that just completely unrelated, or is that J.J.
I think that's just a Jessica Alba show.
But is this like J.J. Abrams' first like big thing, or did he have other things before this?
Don't know.
What year is this?
2000. Nope.
17.
1998.
1998.
Started in 98, and it went 4 seasons to 2001.
So this started the same time as Dawson's Creek, essentially.
Yeah.
That's true.
Wow, it's 1998 month here on
Dark
Well,
Angels.
Last.
Dark
si-
Angels. James Cameron.
Since
Okay.
it was hard to find another show to keep on with James Vandermonth, we decided to do a show that started at the same time as Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
In homage to Dawson's Creek and James Vandermonth, because he's really only starred in 2 shows. He's been in other shows, like One Tree Hill, according to Jimmy. So he says.
He was in a couple episodes. He was a guy. Wasn't he Adam?
Dude,
Or
I've never
confused
seen
because
One
he
Tree Hill.
was-
Yeah, what are you talking about? One
Oh,
Tree Hill, like
well-
we've seen it.
Okay. I'm so
What are you doing over
confused.
there,
I'm
buddy?
looking at the IMDb.
Yes.
I'm looking at Abrams.
Oh,
But
like what
it's-
else he's done?
Oh, because he didn't direct Felicity. He just
He
created
created
it. He maybe wrote it. Because his first director.
He birthed it from his mind grapes.
Armageddon. He wrote screenplay, and that was also in '98.
Huh.
If you were wondering what else he was up to.
I'm assuming that means he was killing it in 98.
Also, Gone Fishing. If you saw that, was
I have not, but it sounds like a Rob Schneider movie.
no, it predates because it's Joe Pesci and Danny Glover.
Danny
Ooh.
Glover. I thought it was not what's his name, John Goodman, but the other guy that I keep thinking is John Goodman. Just the other fat white guy.
like
From Roseanne.
No, not Dan Aykroyd.
like John Candy.
That's-
yeah,
Ah,
yeah. I get
okay.
John Candy and
Oh.
John Goodman mixed up.
Okay.
Huh,
It's
sure.
a problem, but I'm forthright
They
about
both
it.
were Blues Brothers at some point
Yeah, they're just both like chubby white dudes.
that were on SNL.
Yeah, so like, really, they're the same guy.
So Felicity.
So
I
yeah,
assume they get
that's-
into outer space at some point somehow.
That's about all I've got. Wait, so you were saying you thought it was a college thing or maybe a lawyer thing?
Yeah. I'll there. It's one side of that coin. It's either college girl, or she's like just becoming a lawyer or something like that,
Okay.
or maybe she's in law school. Maybe the coin has one side.
It's a one-sided
It's a
coin.
one-sided coin.
It's a shitty coin.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say that in contrast to the pilot of Dawson's Creek, there is no sex or romantic interest in this first episode.
I'm gonna go with you with the Dawson's Creek, and I say she talks to a creek at some point during this episode.
Just whispers to a creek. She's just like, "This is the show where we do it, where we talk to the creek."
If she whispers to a creek, I can't wait to hear the expletives that come out of your mouth.
I just want to read this review quick on IMDb that someone posted in 2003. I didn't watch Felicity when it originally aired because I was sick of all the WB teen dramas like Dawson's Creek,
Ooh.
etc.
I was sick of Dawson's Creek after the first episode.
I guess.
I guess there might have been other WB shows, but was there more to that?
Yeah, but I didn't click on the thing. That was just that was enough.
That was
for
the
me.
important part.
I just also wanted to say that on the wiki it lists it as a college drama.
Okay.
I still think she might be an attorney, law school, college girl. Maybe that's just what she inspires to be. I really want this to be about law. I don't know.
Bird law.
No,
You
not
know
a
anything
bird.
about bird law?
No, I'm not a bird lawyer. I'm a maritime lawyer.
Oh wait.
Submarine chaser.
Ron Howard was a producer of this at some point. apparently.
I feel like this is gonna be a good show.
Who's the main actress in this?
Felicity,
She's like a person, right?
Gosh.
Carrie Russell, right?
Carrie Russell, yep.
What's she in?
Felicity.
No,
she's in
lots
other
of
stuff. She's
Yeah.
in
She's
stuff.
in Mission Impossible 3. She was the main chick from August Rush, if you saw that.
That's an old movie, right?
That's 2007.
Old
Dawn
enough.
she was in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
We saw those. You watched that one, didn't you, Joe?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember her either.
She must have been a
She was
scientist
in
or something.
it.
She's probably a scientist.
She was in it.
Thanks, Jimmy.
I guess she
She's
could have been
in
an
Honey, I
ape
Blew
voice,
Up the
right?
Kid.
Probably not, but could have been.
Oh, Carrie Russell. Learn to talk.
She was Wonder Woman at some point in some kind of Wonder Woman in 2009.
Gal Gadot's gonna have her murdered.
Was that the NBC show or?
No, that was a movie.
Oh, well.
There's a Wonder Woman movie that we don't. What? What was that? Come on.
Okay, I'll click on it. I didn't want to click
Just
on
click
it.
on it.
It was a direct to DVD animated
Air-
superhero film.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right. That makes a lot
All
more
right.
sense.
All right.
I was like, no way was she actually Wonder Woman. All right. Well, we've diddly dallied. Diddly.
We didn't
we
diddle
diddled
anyone.
enough.
I think we've
There was no
diddly,
diddling.
whole diddly dallied a little too much. I think it might be time for the thing, unless you guys have anything that you really, really want to predict that might happen in the first.
I think they're going to be at a community college.
Okay.
I think it's a community college, and I think Chevy Chase is going to be present.
What do you want to bet on
And-
that? What do you want
and
to
something about Game of Thrones
It's Game of Thrones
and space and time travel.
at a 4-year college.
I mean, in like 1998, like the first like book of Game of Thrones was out by then, I think, because George Railroad Martin over there like writes one book every 10 years. So, yep.
Let's do it. Let's light this candle.
Let's go into the first episode in the most awkward silence we can. Shh. See you after the first episode. I said.
it's not. It's only the beginning song.
And we're back. Episode 1 complete. Joe, thoughts?
It was a show.
I'll be honest. I feel like I saw you texting.
Okay, cards on the table. It kind of bored me a little bit. I was not super into it. I don't know what it was in particular about it, other than I don't know. Maybe it just needs more Amy Jo Johnson.
I'll be honest.
Oh, for sure.
It was kind of obnoxious.
Yeah.
Just like knowing we've all been children.
Okay.
Like this 18-year-old Felicity is.
We've all been WB drama
Well,
children.
Yeah, and so like having like everything in her life is like the most important fucking thing in the entire world. And you're like, God, get over it. Jesus Christ. That's kind of what I thought this whole episode.
Yeah, she was too much.
Yeah,
sure.
She's a bit much. But I mean, I'm like she did a good job. Like then you go like, oh, she just moved across the country for no reason. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a thing people do.
Yeah.
That's a thing kids do in college.
Yeah. I mean, so there's that. I guess we should recap, I guess, before we keep getting too far in.
Yeah. So Felicity, as we meet her at the beginning of the episode, she's at her high school graduation, and she's wondering what she's gonna do with her life. And she talks to this dude that she's kind of always had a crush on in high school, but never talked to.
Ben Covington.
Ben Covington,
AKA Scott Speedman, AKA Corvin from the Underworld series.
That's who he is. He's the dude from
He's
Underworld.
He's the lichen vampire, whatever they call him.
I've never seen that man before in my life.
You've never seen Underworld?
No.
Wow.
Man.
That's crazy.
I've got the trilogy at home. I'll bring it over.
You have the
Tight.
trilogy?
Fuck yeah.
They made
DVD.
3 of those movies.
DVD or Blu-ray.
Shut your mouth.
If you're gonna have the worst movies, you better have it on the best system.
So Felicity talks to Ben Covington and asks her to sign her yearbook. And then he's like, can I take a minute to do this? And she's like, all right. And he takes a minute to write this long thing about how he's like kind of like had his eye on her for all 4 years of high school and wondered what she was like, but now he'll never know. And see you later, Hackus, K-I-T.
Have a kick-ass summer.
You think he wrote Hackus and she just left it out of the voiceover? I bet he wrote Hackus.
Yeah, there was a lot of her narrating stuff at the beginning. She didn't say Hackus, but we can assume.
What does KIT mean?
Keep in touch.
She did say that he said, I would say keep in touch, but we never were in touch.
Yeah, maybe he should have wrote
Yeah.
GIT, like get in touch. That was kind of the weird, like he wrote the note in her yearbook, and then it was like, goodbye forever, I'm going to college, because Ben's going to college in New York and she doesn't know where she's going.
Yeah.
So they kind of had a moment.
NY instead of NYU.
NYU.
And
Yeah.
I don't think what he wrote in her yearbook is even really that weird, because I feel like senior year of high school, even if there's people like you didn't really hang out with at all and you didn't like talk to, I mean, I kind of felt this. Like, you just were like, I think we're all connected because we, like, did this for so long together, even if we didn't hang out.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm, like you know, like, I really, like, I feel, like, warm, good fuzzies because, like, we did it. And so you write, like, just these good, nice things in people's yearbooks. Like, oh,
Yeah,
man.
you can't read too much
Oh,
into
man, it was
Like,
just such a bummer that we didn't, like, hang out more. But, like, I think you're just swell and you're great.
Yeah, I wrote a note
Sure.
down that said, Ben wrote that in every girl's yearbook.
Yeah. Yeah.
That whole
Yeah, like
4
oh, these 4
paragraph.
years, I haven't really talked to you, but I wonder what you were like.
What a dope thing to write. Like, you know?
That's smart. That's a smart kid.
Well, and then like you said the perfect thing like right after that. It was like I'd write keep in touch, but like we didn't really do that. And you're like, they have all summer.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Is like he walked
Like,
away
what
as
is
if
this,
like
June
this was
6th?
it. Like he's getting on a plane tomorrow. But it's like, hey, you know, if you wanted to like, if you just met this person, you're like, I wonder what they're like. Like, why not hang out for the summer? I feel like I definitely did that. Like, in like my last like summer of before college, where it was just like I like made new friends, and it wasn't even like I just made new friends, and it was just like, yeah, let's just hang out for this summer, and then like I don't know, we're gonna go to college, and then it'll be over. But like. It wasn't just like, well, I didn't talk to you in high school, so I guess we're done here.
I think you
Right.
said like 45 times just now.
Here's the thing, like, you know,
Did you write a song about it?
But I agree with you.
I actually did write a song about it.
About your summer friends?
I wrote a song about how, like, man, I'm saying like again, and now you got me in my head.
I'm in your head.
I wrote a song about friends that I thought I would never see again, and I thought it would be fine. Like, this is fun for now, and good to meet you and
There's
see
a
you.
song called
And
The Rocket Summer.
it's great.
I
Is
bet
that
it sounded like The Rocket Summer.
It sounded a lot like The Sweetness by Jimmy Eat World.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love Jimmy Eat World.
I'll believe
Okay,
it when
so-
I hear it.
So the whole
Can we put
thing...
hey,
I'll play it live at
Do
the
you
end
ha-
of this episode.
I said, do you have? I was going to ask, do you have a recording of it? We can whole song at the end of the episode.
I could try to dig up a bad like live recording of it.
Potential bad live recording of whatever Joe's talking about at the end of this episode.
So the whole kind of thing in this episode is Felicity's parents want her to go to med school at Stanford, where her father went, and they're gonna like pay for the whole thing, and they're ticked that now she wants to go to New York, and they're not gonna pay for anything, and she's taking out loans.
What dicks?
Yeah,
They'll
they're
pay for
pretty mean.
everything as long as she does exactly what they want. And if she doesn't do anything, they won't pay for anything?
I mean,
Yes, that's it.
Dicks!
I think that's the core concept. But so then she goes to New York, and then it seems almost as if, so they're there, it's maybe been like a couple weeks,
hmm
and they're already like, just drop out, it'll be fine. Drop out of college, we'll send you to Stanford still.
Well,
I'll
she ends
call
up
some
wanting to
people.
drop out because she finds out that like Ben's not super into her. He just wrote a nice thing in her yearbook, and
She finds out what everybody else already knew.
yeah.
Right.
All the other girls that he wrote that in.
He's been with several girls in this
Well, those
episode.
girls hooked up with Ben during the summer because
Yeah.
they actually called him.
'Cause they just rode their bikes over to his house, and they're just like, "Hey Ben, what's going on?"
What up, man? I rode my bike over here because I'm not.
You know how high school kids do.
And somewhere in there, first class, they're in a poetry class? Is that what's going on? In freshman year, you take a poetry class?
Hey, why not?
I guess. But so next to her happens to be Amy Jo
the
Johnson,
Pink Ranger.
aka Kimberly,
Yeah.
throwing it back to episode 3.
Joe's in love.
Yeah, she just kind of like in
Joe
class,
did
she
a
kind of just like
swing,
peeks her head over, and she just comes into frame, and you're just like, "Oh, Amy Jo Johnson."
It was a really fun reveal, and I feel like she was in the Power Ranger movie in '95. Don't know what she was in for 3 years.
Okay.
So if this was like the next big thing she was in, that's a fun
I'm
reveal.
guessing, yeah.
Because there's nobody that wasn't that age that wasn't like, hell yeah. Because that's great. No
Yeah,
one
man.
thought anything. Like, did you ever look at her once this whole episode and think, oh, that's not the Pink Ranger?
Yeah, I know that she's.
There was that one scene
I'll
where
live
she
in
was like,
forever.
"Look, I'm not the Pink Ranger," and it was like, "Wow."
I'm really,
That did not happen.
I'm currently
Wait, did only I see that?
I'm currently only really, really sad that if there's going to be a Halloween episode, we're going to miss it. Because if they're funny at all, they'll do that, you know? I know Castle did it one time. You ever see, I've never seen the show Castle.
Uh-huh.
Nathan Fillion was in Firefly,
Okay.
and his character from Firefly, it's like Space Cowboy.
Okay.
So in Castle, for a Halloween episode, he dressed like his character from Firefly.
That's kind of fun.
And they were like, what are you? And he was like, I'm a space cowboy.
Ah.
And he was like dressed exactly like his character.
That's right.
Like they asked like Joss Whedon to like borrow the like costume that
You're saying like a lot now.
shit.
Wonderful. So another thing that happened was we get introduced to Felicity's RA, aka Scott Foley, who was on Scrubs and was
Noel?
on Noel. His character's Noel. He was on Dawson's Creek a little bit.
James Vanderman.
James Vandermonth.
I've seen a lot of Scrubs, but I feel like I don't recognize that guy. Who
Oh
is
my
he?
gosh, he was JD's brother, right?
Elliot's brother.
Elliot's brother. JD's brother was the guy from Flash. The Flash.
The Flashes.
on CW.
Yeah,
He's also Scott Foley's also in Scream 3. He's also in
Is he the brother in Scream 3?
probably.
Or it's a spoiler that he's the brother, right? But it's like,
Oh, like
He's
the
the-
brother of Skeet.
no,
He ends up being the
he's like the half brother of,
Billy Loomis,
no,
the
what's
guy
her
from the
name?
first one.
No, the girl, Sydney.
Oh, he's like her. She has a half brother.
I think that's the.
Is it like
the
Cotton's,
ending?
Cotton's kid or
Because
something?
he's the director of like Stab 2, and he turns
Stab
out to be
harder.
He turns out to be like the half brother of Sydney, avenging his mom's death from like the original movies or something.
But who killed her mom? That was Billy Loomis.
I don't know.
We found that
Leary.
out in the very first movie that Billy Loomis killed her mom.
we'll stay and we'll watch all the Screams after this.
I love Scream.
I love Scream. I watched Scream like last month.
yeah,
because
I
of-
watched Scream like
because
a
of
week ago.
Halloween
It's
month.
great.
Yeah, sure. Like you do.
Yeah.
Are they all on like the flicks?
There's like 4 of them.
Oh dang.
It was so
Nice.
crazy. Scream 1 came out in like 98.
It's Courtney Cox.
Wait,
right?
no. 98.
96,
96?
or something? Yeah.
And then Scream 4 came out in like 2011.
Yeah.
And it still has like Courtney Cox, David Arquette, Nev Campbell. Like they're all still in it.
Because what else were they doing by
Um,
the time of Scream
Being
4?
in dope movies like Scream 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, that's
That's it, though. Yeah, that's it.
So Scott Foley was also in a show called The Unit, which was on for a few seasons. He's on Grey's a bunch, and then he's apparently a main character in Scandal, which has like won lots of awards and stuff, and is still currently going. It's probably in its like fifth season by now. Fourth. Maybe.
Joe's impressed.
So Felicity follows this guy to New York to go to college. She goes to the college that he goes to also, yes? Or is it different colleges?
What are you talking about?
Felicity?
The show we're watching?
Yeah.
I don't understand what you're asking me.
So she goes to the same college as Ben Covington.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just couldn't tell if they were at the same college or if it was just the same city.
You watched the whole show with us,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both at UNY.
UNY.
I thought you were
Because
doing
she
like
goes there specifically because he says that,
Gotcha.
right?
I think she read she works like student work in like the registrar's office and like read
In
his
high
application.
Oh, and she read his essay.
Yeah, that was
Which,
the thing.
like, if she went to a different school, she probably wouldn't work at the other school.
I wouldn't put it past Felicity, man. She's kind of crafty.
She's
a-
kind of creepy in this, actually.
Yeah.
If you really think
It's a
about
lot.
it, she followed him all the way to college
Yeah, no, I mean,
after having one conversation with him ever.
when Joe was saying that confusing thing about Felicity going to a different school than Ben, I thought you were giving me like a TLDR, like a too long didn't read. Like Felicity was in high school, followed a boy to New York, decided to be his friend, got sad because her friend might have banged him. Her parents suck.
Which is
decides
Julie.
to stay at school. Like that's the whole episode, really.
Yeah,
AKA
that
James
too. I was
Major
also trying to
Johnson.
go there.
You were
Too.
going on a TLDR. Okay, well we did it.
All right.
Her friend being Amy Jo Johnson.
Yes.
Right.
The most important part of this show, I'm assuming to you, Joe.
Character
Yeah.
name of Julie.
Julie, who she meets in class, and she had Felicity has Julie,
So let's
and
keep talking about Amy Jo Johnson.
Just keep trying to work her in. So I think the only other character is the French tutor, who we don't find that out till like the very end. So this Sally person, the whole show, Felicity's talking like at different times by herself into a tape recorder, recording a
Sally
conversation.
Reardon in Santa Fe.
Yeah, she's sending a message to Sally Reardon on a cassette tape, and then later at the end, by the end, we find out it was her French tutor person that she knows well, who like didn't have a divorce, but her husband died.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in a way, that's a divorce.
She's like widowed. That's different. It's a different word.
Are you still technically married?
Me personally,
No.
I haven't gotten married yet.
No.
That's
no,
next
no.
week.
I'm not. I mean, you're already married when this comes out.
Oh shit, you're right.
By the way, guys, Jimmy's already married. He just got married.
I just got
Wow.
married.
He's been married. I think when this comes out, you've been married for like 3 weeks.
Cool. Cool.
So let's not talk about your marriage because that's gonna get weird. So if Sally Reardon's husband's dead, is she still married? How does that work?
No.
Can we break it down in the eyes of the law and in the eyes of God?
Yeah, because you can't be married to a dead person, so you're not married.
Who says that? The law or
The
God?
law
Okay.
and God.
God,
And me.
God is technically like a dead person, right?
Yeah, and you can't be married to God. So there
Was it
you go.
Judge Dredd?
Oh, okay. I get it. I get what you're going with. If you can't be married to God and he's a dead person, then you can't be married to a dead person or God.
Yes.
I know that.
I just repeated the thing he said. But
I know that you can get married in the church, like after you've been widowed, but some churches don't let you do that if you've been divorced.
right. Oh, I mean,
If
you
you're
know,
widowed, it's fine.
as long as you're widowed because you didn't murder your spouse.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It actually used to be that if like you were widowed, like if you were a woman and you were widowed, then like you're like the brother of your husband was like expected to like take you on as his wife.
Yeah, old school church rules were really pro women's rights.
That was like a Jewish thing. Anyway,
we got to do predictions. We got to
should
move
do
this
some
along. We just do predictions.
yeah.
We've done enough biblical speak tonight. But write us in at fnlpodcast@gmail.com if you know whether or not you can be married if you're married to a dead person. Jimmy, what are your predictions? Let's go Jimmy first.
Oh, you want me to be first?
Yeah.
I wanted to go
First?
Never.
All right.
So, okay, I'm all my predictions are based on the fact that this is a J.J. Abrams show and a Matt Reeves show. Who Matt Reeves,
Brother of Keanu Reeves?
I could only assume.
Yeah, I mean, who else has that name?
He was announced, I think, as doing the Batman movie that Ben Affleck was supposed to do after his movie failed hard. After Ben Affleck's movie failed hard and he went kind of crazy.
Talking about the Batman vs Superman movie?
Batfleck. Did he direct that?
No.
Batfleck?
I don't think
No,
so.
I think
No, Batfleck didn't direct
Nolan
that.
did. There was another movie.
Nolan definitely did not
that
direct
Ben
Batman vs Superman.
Ben Affleck. It was anyway. Matt Reeves is doing that. So my first prediction is Felicity and Noel, R.A. Noel, who by the end of this first episode said that he has feelings for her.
Duh.
Everyone was very honest for 18-year-olds. That doesn't really happen in the real world.
I don't know, man. I feel like I was pretty honest.
Saying your
what
feelings.
the fuck? Why not?
Yeah, I suppose it's right. Anyway, I assume that they go back in time.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they go to high school / Angel Grove or wherever that was, because I'm not sure they said.
Felicity was a... This is the thing is we find out that Felicity was a sub character in the original Power Rangers, and she was she was a.
So they go back to get to know Ben because she didn't get to know him in high school, and it's not working out for them in college for them to get together. So they go back to do that. That's number one. Number two is that they do that, and Ben sucks in high school. So and
pretty obvious,
which is obvious to everyone but her. And Felicity and Noel just fall in love. And then
in the last episode, or
in the last episode,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
It takes the whole 4 seasons.
Okay.
For them to really.
All 4 seasons.
There's 4 seasons.
All right. Just all winter, summer, spring, and fall.
All you have to do is call.
No, he's talking about the seasons of a TV show, Jeff.
Well, actually, I'm pretty sure. So it's 4 seasons, 4 years of college. Anyway, Sally Reardon, number 3. Oh, so they go back in time.
Do you think they save her husband?
They go back in time to save her, Sally's husband. I don't even remember how she said that, how he died. And he was in a motorcycle accident. He got hit by a Jeep.
Yeah.
So they go in time and they murder the Jeep driver.
Oh God!
Oh,
that's actually that's not what I wrote down. But they save her husband's.
Man, I was really excited about your tasty new.
She just becomes a murder mystery.
Oh, I just love it. I'd love if they got there and Felicity was like, "All right, we just take his keys, right?" And Noel's just like, "No, we have to kill him. This is the only way, Felicity." And then they kiss and murder him.
They're just kissing while murdering, covered in blood. Okay, number 4 is that Julie is just dead and gone, but because I think that, but
yeah, I have that Julie's also dead and gone.
I wrote specifically is because she got pregnant in college and she dies from complications of the pregnancy.
Oh no, she has to get pregnant and then dead?
Yeah.
Oh, rough.
Preg dead.
Well, that's what I assume is happening. She's already getting together with Ben in the first episode.
Huh.
So we saw her get pregnant. We just saw it.
Yeah, we just saw it.
We saw it.
So
Ooh.
within this next 9 months, she'll be dead.
Rough.
All right.
I'm gonna look that up. Go keep. Yeah.
Well, bouncing off the gym. I have that Amy Jo Johnson's character is replaced by an Australian girl.
Okay.
Like in Mighty Morphin Power.
Like in Mighty Morphin Power
I remember.
I think that when Felicity goes back in time, we also just all think she goes back in time. I don't think any of us have hard evidence, by the way.
There's a huge hard possibility there's no time travel.
It's quite possible there's no time. Well, so I think this last episode starts in the past. in potentially like their like early stages of college past, kind of like so they're still, she's in college still, and then she goes back to the future, which is like the actual end of college.
Okay.
So that's just kind of one. So she starts in the past and goes back to the future in this last one. And then also that she's actually dating Ben in the past.
Julie is?
No.
Felicity is.
Okay. Felicity's actually dating Ben in the past. But then when she gets back to the future, she just acts like that. Like she just super not into it. And just doesn't really... She's just like, yeah, Ben, you're my friend. Whatever. It's cool. It's whatever.
What do you mean she dates Ben in the past? Like she...
In high school?
You want...
Like she goes back to high school and she is her high school self and dates Ben?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like or at least like they're dating in like freshman year of college. You know, like
okay.
I don't know if it's high school or college, but I think like there's a point in there like past that like we definitely know that they like dated in her back past and then now she's like nah.
Okay. I'm just trying to get our bearings on like time travel here. That like when she goes back, she's still herself. She's like her. She goes back to when she's 16 years old. She is 16 years old.
Well, she's 16, but she has 18, 19-year-old memories. So.
Right.
Yeah.
She has her consciousness of the future or present.
I think the way the show's gonna do it, where she's gonna be, it's gonna get creepy because it's gonna be like her as an 18-year-old walking around, but we'll know that she's like a 16-year-old girl.
Is that what you, Jimmy? Is that what you thought about how the time travel?
I don't think there's going to be what I'm saying is I don't think there's going to be a different actress being her. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that like?
Because I thought it was going to be like kind of like how Back to the Future works, where she goes back in time, but she can see herself like doing the normal stuff in her timeline, but she's a separate entity essentially.
Right.
Oh, like so she's like the parallel.
Like she goes back in time and she's watching her.
So you think she could go back in time? She could actually meet herself,
right? Mm-hmm.
I don't think that. I think she goes back in time and then she is her.
Okay.
And then changes.
Okay.
What happens?
She travels back in time into her old.
Yeah.
Body
She becomes she goes back to herself. She doesn't travel back in time as a separate entity.
Yeah, I think she goes back as a separate entity. Just to weave into my predicts because it's pretty similar. I also think Amy Jo Johnson is gone, but Noel and Felicity are together at this point, and they're time traveling together.
You guys have got a sliders like thing going on.
Yeah, very quantum leap sliders scenario.
I don't know why.
Saving stuff.
I have such like a thought that she only travels in time with herself for some reason. I don't know why.
No, yeah. So her and Noel go back to her graduation to prevent her old self from talking to Ben because that sets off a whole series of events. So if they are
like
able...
her meeting Noel.
Oh,
am I already throwing like a wrench into what you're saying?
Maybe that like they reach that point at the end of the episode where they're just like, wait, if I do this, we never meet. And Noel's like, yeah.
You think Noel's over?
Noel's just like, I wish I never met you.
Okay.
Noel and Julie get together.
Fair enough.
Twist.
That it?
Yeah, I think they just go back in time to try to prevent her from meeting Ben because that sets off some sort of cataclysmic event. That's
9/11.
Yeah. Not 9/11.
Wow, Jimmy.
So if this was 1998,
really?
So
too soon.
Season 4 is probably 2001.
Well, it
ends in 2002.
The season 4 ends in 2002.
Well, technically it ends
May.
I think it said it ended in 10/10/2001.
No,
but I keep saying 2002. Maybe that's when it started. Maybe that's when season 4 started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
It started then. So it starts in 2001. And then it ends in 2002.
Yep.
So we're all in agreement that she goes back in time and decides to not prevent 9/11.
Yeah.
I don't think they talk about 9/11 at all on this show.
The more that we talk about time travel, the more I'm convinced that there's no freaking time travel in this show at all.
This is possible. All right. We are taking forever to get to the last episode.
Let's do it.
So let's just go to it. We will be back after Felicity saves America from 9/11.
Wait, 1 second. So it is.
It is called Back to the Future.
And it is.
Oh, shit,
The air
I
date
just-
is May 2002. So it is post 9/11 that this airs.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have a plot line where she goes back in time, but does anything but prevent the loss of 3,000 American lives.
That's a good point. That's a good. You bring up a
man.
good point.
This is the last episode of the podcast.
But we don't know
isn't
that
it?
because we haven't watched it yet.
All right. Well, we'll see you at the end.
Bye.
And we're back.
That kills me. I don't know why. The sound you make.
I think
Makes me
I
laugh.
channel my Nick Space, one of our friends. I channel him for it. And we're back. Very quickly, we watched the last episode of Felicity, and it sucked. Give me 25 seconds. It
Yeah, all right.
was a fucking clip show. What the fuck? The last goddamn episode of this fucking show is a clip show?
45 minutes of clips.
45 minutes of a clip show.
Half the clips were from the first episode.
Half the clips were from the first fucking episode. Have you ever watched a TV show and then watched the next TV show episode, which is the same fucking show? We just did it.
Oh man.
And then the next 20 minutes were other clips that were stupid and didn't mean anything. Oh, no, fucking Felicity loves Ben and Noel. Who gives a shit? Fuck you. And then the next one was she woke up in some sort of like fever dream and was like, I thought Noel was dead, but now he's not dead.
Yeah.
Because all of it was a dream. Did she even go back in time?
Probably
Fuck
not.
you, J.J. Abrams. Okay, how do you guys feel about this show?
I liked it. It was really
Upstanding.
like or dislike. I think watching the first and last episode of Felicity was a good way to watch the show.
Bullshit.
I got everything I needed out of that final episode. I got to see everything they did, all the Halloween costumes, all the wacky adventures, all the times that Felicity and Noel like will they, won't they, and then she ended up with Ben.
Are you actually being serious right now?
I
I don't know whether that you're pandering to just make me angry or you actually believe what you're saying.
I'm not saying it was a good finale. I'm just saying, as a first and last, pretty good way to watch Felicity.
That's fair. I understand what you're saying. I think, okay, to be fair, if we had watched, for the people who had watched the whole thing, then you are going back and they're bringing you through all the moments, all the drama of the relationships of the, will she with Ben or will she with Noel? Noel.
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 I say Noel.
Nice.
It's spelt like Noel. I've been doing a lot of Wikipedia and Googling during that episode because, God, it was awful.
How would you spell Noel?
Just like that. Noel would be like Noelle or something like that, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like
The one of the-
word Noel is Noel.
One of the main
pronounced that
one of the
Noel.
main characters in Final Fantasy 13-2 is named Noel, and that's how he spells it.
You know, like the first Noel.
The first Noel. I'm calming down.
You're simmering.
I have a
back
couple.
up.
I have a couple thoughts.
I'm calming down.
While you calm down, so one of the things in the clips is that so I guess so the whole show is, so she says she's gone back in time. She's going to track down this guy who wrote this book. Korsakov is his name, and it's a book of spells or something that
He's like a very Russian name, but he's very not
It's
Russian.
very not. It's
at
Kurt
all.
Fuller, who's
Yeah.
in like every show and movie ever. I think he was in that movie The Burbs with Tom Hanks.
He was.
That's a great movie.
Such a good movie.
That would have been a good
God,
October
I wish
Halloween
we would have
movie.
watched that movie instead of this show.
Okay, so she's going to him to like maybe go back in time again or something.
Yeah, that's her goal. She wants to go back in time to save Noel.
Oh, okay.
She wants to
Because
go
Noel
save
died in a fire.
Yeah, she wants.
Is that a spoiler? Or are we not there yet?
Okay, no.
Like, what's the worst way to say someone died? They die. Like, if you like are being a fucker, like you would say, like, I hope you go die in a fire.
Yeah, it's
Like,
a
this is the
terrible
worst
way
thing.
to
And
die.
they literally said, like, he died in a fire.
Yeah.
So I was under the impression that she went back in time to do something to set up her relationship with Noel or something, and then she went back to the future, and it ended up that like she's still with Ben and Noel's dead. And
Which
so-
is not.
Yeah, and so
What
that's
you
why she
wanted.
was going to this guy to just undo everything, just put me back to what we were before. That was my impression. So that's why when she wakes up, it's like, oh, Noel, you're not dead. Oh, and you're marrying Zoe. Good for you.
So this whole episode was just a
And we're
pity
like,
party?
Who is Zoe?
Like, right?
Yeah, basically.
This whole last episode was just a
Yeah.
Carrie Russell pity party.
Well, yeah. So she goes to talk to
I feel
this
bad for Kerry Russell.
Korsakov. Was his name?
Korsakov.
Korsakov, and he's trying to work up the like undo spell.
It's a therapy session.
Yeah, and it's essentially a therapy session where we go through the clip show.
I'm
Of the entire series.
listening.
Fraser Korsakov, I think. Is
She
his
tells
name.
this random stranger about all her problems with
If
Noel and
you would have switched that guy who played Korsakov up with Kelsey Grammer, I would have given this show 10 out of 10. Would watch again.
What season of Frasier you in now, Josh?
5 still
All
in
right,
5.
all right.
Yeah, I actually don't think I've seen more than 1 or 2 episodes since last week. So,
Disappointed in you.
how many have you seen since last week, Jimmy?
I don't know. I'm in the middle of season 3, so probably 10 or so.
Catch up. Can't do that much listening in your honeymoon.
What? That's all I'm gonna do.
Oh, really?
That's
That's
it.
what people do in a honeymoon?
I don't
I'm
know.
not married
watch
yet. I don't
Frasier.
know. I didn't know that you just binge watch TV on your honeymoon.
I'm pretty sure. Doesn't that sound like a good? Okay, so oh yeah, what I was starting to say a million years ago is one of the clip scenes is she's like, how we all make mistakes, and then it goes back to like season 2 when she cuts her hair.
Yeah, what was
super
that about?
short. So, there was something in like season 2 or 3. She cuts her hair super short. There's like a choice that they decided to do.
Before you say something weird, I think she looks great with short hair. I think she
Yeah,
looks
it's
great.
fine. But I think the thing was that she had this long, beautiful, curly hair.
Before you
and
keep
it was
going,
a-
I
it
think
was a
she looks
thing.
great with long hair too. I think she looked great.
Yeah, yeah. It's Carrie Russell.
Carrie Russell looks great.
She looks great.
Put it this way, let's break it down.
she had straight hair at the end. Also looked great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
The hair grew back. It looked great.
yeah. Hair grows back.
Probably better than short. I don't know. It was a thing at the time, and
okay,
so
whatever.
it's become like a pop culture like phenomenon. Like it's been mentioned in lots of other shows and joked about, like in Gilmore Girls and Clarissa Explains It All. It's all like something. If like they do something with the main woman's hair, and then they're like, oh, in 30 Rock, there's an episode where Jenna's like I screwed up my hair like Felicity in season 2 or whatever. Like very specific jokes to this.
Oh man.
Family Guy, there's an episode.
I've definitely seen all of 30 Rock, and I've definitely heard that joke and went, huh, don't get it. And just moved along.
Right?
You know? Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah. But I was still would even watching season 2. I'd watch that episode. I'd be like, "Dang, Carrie Russell, you look great with short hair." That's all I would say.
Yeah. Just a
Haters
pop
gonna hate.
culture.
Carrie
The
Russell's
timing.
gonna rustle. Joe, you've been quiet.
There's a lot going on.
Talk to us, Joe.
So yeah, so the whole plot was essentially just a vehicle for a clip show to review what we've
It's a
seen.
fucking clip guy. Got me again.
Just a clip
It's
show.
a clip show.
And then at the end, everybody apologizes to each other and it works out.
And then
happily
there's
for everybody.
a wedding for a Noel who's not dead,
Yeah.
married to some girl we don't know.
Yeah.
Zoe.
So like time travel wasn't a big point. Really
did time
wasn't.
travel even happen, or did Felicity just go to sleep?
I
don't
think it
know.
was a fever dream. I think it was all just a fever dream.
I think you're right, because so I was looking because one of your things was you talked about a Power Ranger Halloween like Kimberly
Yeah.
thing, and so I was going through the last October episodes of things and reading about if there were any Halloween stuff, and every episode just sounds awful. Like nothing really happens, and even in the fourth
Every Halloween
season,
episode, or just every single episode of Felicity?
I mean, just in general, it's like real. Oh my god, it's bad. But even in the fourth season, in the October episode, they're not talking about time travel at all. So I don't know. Is this something that happened in the last couple episodes?
I mean, season 4, episode 18 is called "Time Will Tell." Felicity becomes distant and withdrawn after another person dies.
Elena dies in the car accident.
Elena
That was the
dies.
black friend.
Oh, yeah, we never really met her.
See,
we
I've
didn't
been
get to
reading
meet
some of these
Elena.
descriptions, and it looks like she only traveled back in time in the last episode, or the
That-
second to last.
Must have been this. Yeah.
Maybe the last
No,
few, because
no,
before
it
that
says-
it's graduation, so that's like, I mean, like, and that's college graduation,
Yeah.
so that's present day stuff is going on.
Oh man, who knows? Who's to say? It's J.J. Abrams. It's probably never been fully explained, like Lost. Did he do Lost?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't wait to do Lost on this show.
So
J.J.
I'm down.
Abrams month.
we're
It's hard to do a J.J. Abrams month. We'll figure it out. We'll get it there.
Abrams month.
We should do a Joss Whedon month, though.
Okay,
Ooh. I'm about that life.
plan for it, viewers, listeners.
Hey, viewers, put it on your calendar, and then we'll tell you when to set start.
I was just gonna do like a character overview. So we're returning Felicity, Ben, Megan the roommate, and Noel the RA.
Megan the Wiccan spell casting room.
Yeah, we don't get much of Megan from the first episode, but now we know she's super goth.
She's always been super goth.
we just like a glimpse of her in the first episode.
Yeah.
I saw her for 1 second.
And she was totally goth.
She was probably a little.
She's a little goth.
And then we meet Elena, who is Felicity's black friend. Who,
Black ass kicking.
yeah, she literally kicks ass in all the clips we see.
And she was dating Turk from
Yeah.
Scrubs.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Faison.
We see Sean, who I thought was dating Megan.
Yeah, I think so.
He's the guy that's all in all the J.J. Abrams stuff.
Yeah, he's Matt Parkman from Heroes.
Yeah.
And he's because J.J. Abrams loves him for some dumb reason. He got to be like a rogue pilot in the new X-Files, new Star Wars.
Star Trek.
He was in Rogue.
Oh yeah, J.J. Abrams is doing
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
too.
he was
God, he does everything. See.
yeah. J. Abrams is doing the episode 9 for Star Wars.
Yeah. He's doing the first and last of that trilogy.
He's in.
J.J. Abrams, be on our podcast. You're already doing it.
I'm gonna follow him from our Twitter. F and
Does
L podcast.
He does a
Nice.
guest spot for just one of his own shows on First and Last.
Maybe.
He'll
Oh my
guest
god.
star.
Okay, we're never doing Lost unless J.J. Abrams is on the show.
I
Hashtag
don't agree with that.
get J.J. Abrams on First and Last to do Lost.
Yeah, that's our campaign.
I think that fits into 140 characters probably. You get 280 now. It's fine.
Do you have to be verified for that?
Yeah.
Hey, fun fact, we not verified. That's hard, man.
I don't think he has a Twitter.
J.J. Abrams?
There's a J.J. Abrams fan Twitter. There's also a Twitter that says it's protected and it has only one follower.
Hey, just tweet at Mark Hamill. He'll tell him.
Yeah, he'll pass it along.
All right.
Oh, can we just joke? Can you bring me back to the very first line of this episode? The one we just watched? Because we almost died.
So as if Felicity says something like, "I told him I went back in time and he didn't believe me." No, it's I told him I went back in time and now he thinks I'm crazy.
Yeah, that's what it was. The first 5 seconds of this episode, and we had to stop it and just laugh.
We did have
Joe had to pause it immediately and said, "I need a minute."
Yes.
Oh,
that was just that line made this whole first and last worth it, I think.
I hope, man.
That's true.
I mean, I laughed for about 30 seconds, but man, I was salty for 45. And I still am.
Well, now we're following Mark Hamill
Nice.
Perfect.
and Kevin Smith
All right. Predictions.
and William Shatner.
I think that
Are you
the show's over. And,
I meant,
probably
like,
not much happens for Felicity.
I mostly meant let's go over what our predictions were.
Oh.
I feel like we all
Let's
did
do it.
really bad.
Well, I said that Noel and Felicity were together and they were not.
Definitely not.
I
At
said
one
that-
point he was dead, and then when he was alive, he was marrying a different girl. So
I said that Felicity goes back in time to her graduation to try to affect events, and I don't know that it's clear where she went back in time to.
well, she never went back in time as far as we're concerned. So a lot of things are being messed up.
Yeah.
Was that it?
Well, and just that Amy Jo Johnson was gone.
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
She was.
There's a point.
She was in. Well, I mean, she was in the clips.
She was in
Yeah,
the
and
clips.
they never. She apparently even her leaving wasn't big enough to make the 45-minute clip show.
They
ending.
clipped. Oh my god! Fuck! They clipped so many people that were in this show, and Amy. She was in 50 of these 84 episodes of the show.
She got
and she
nothing.
didn't even get remembered in the last show because she like what?
Must have been a falling out.
She went. Ugh.
Felicity didn't carry any tokens from Julie with her in her bag of stuff or whatever when she went to go see.
Bag of fucking
Yeah.
dicks while she traveled back in time to go kill herself. God damn it! All right, my predictions. Amy Jo Johnson character is replaced by an Australian girl.
I mean,
Inconclusive.
Elena could have been Australian. We don't know, mate.
She was never placed. She's just gone.
And most of these don't work because we had no actual time travel, which is she goes back in time to the first day / beginning of college, but then she goes like back to current. So we started the episode with her back in freshman year or whatever, and she came back. There was absolutely no time travel in this episode, so
Yeah.
nothing.
No.
And then also that she was dating Ben in the past. That was technically correct, but she
Yeah.
also still is technically
And is-
dating Ben in the future.
Current. Yeah.
But she wanted to, according to her fever dream, stop dating Ben and wanted to be dating Noel.
Noel.
right.
If she could have saved fake dead Noel's life, she would have dated real life Noel's body.
Yeah. If Noel wasn't dead or married, she would have
Yeah.
totally gone after Noel.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Half a point. Jimmy?
Yeah. So Felicity and Noel did
No
not
one
go back
even-
in time. My number 2 was that when they were back in time, Ben sucked in high school, and that Felicity and Noel fall in love. So Felicity did fall for Noel. Okay, I'll leave it. I'll leave it. Number 3 was had Sally Reardon stuff, which we never heard really hardly any. She talked about Sally Reardon once at the beginning.
Yeah, just a show clip.
We had
but that was it.
none of that. We had no Janine Garofalo at all. Who
That would have been fun if like
Which was the
real
narrator.
Sally Reardon, aka Janine Garofalo, would have
Yeah.
showed up. That
Was
would
it
have
really
been fun.
Janine Garofalo?
it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jimmy
I
looked
looked it
Jimmy
up.
looked it up. Yeah.
And then Julia's dead and gone. Teen pregnancy and dies. So I did have one other fun little pop culture thing that I looked up was that when it first started, they had a young writer woman named Riley Weston, and she claimed to be 19 years old, and she was supposed to be this big up and coming thing, and then it turned out like later in the season that she was actually like 32, and the guy she claimed to be like her big brother was actually just her husband.
This
And
is an actual writer for the
Who was
show.
an actual writer, and during that season there was an entertainment big huge article thing about how this person was this up and coming 19-year-old writer woman, and it was this huge blowout, and she got immediately fired. But
It sounds like a better show than Felicity, to be completely honest.
yeah, I'd watch it.
Only if there's time travel.
Yeah,
Wow.
she can travel. She's 32. She travels back to when she's 19. Done.
Maybe J.J. Abrams can write it, and he can write about how he goes back in time to not hire a 32-year-old
That does-
woman claiming to be 19.
If you went back 13 years to the past now, like what TV shows could you write? If you went back into 2004 and you're just like, I got this idea for a show.
Lost.
It's called Lost. Not sure how it ends yet, but we'll get there.
Some unlikable character dies on a plane, in a plane crash, but lives his afterlife on an island, and then.
How long ago did the Marvel movies start? Could I jump
just
onto
get-
that?
They have not
money
I
making
got this
train?
idea. Marvel movies.
Jimmy, it feels like it, but no, they haven't been going for 13 years. It does feel like it, though.
Okay.
Man, yeah. What show could I write? Not Frasier. Damn.
Not Frasier.
Damn. 30 Rock.
I got this idea for a show. It's called 30 Rock. It's about my experiences as an SNL writer.
Who are you?
Lorne Michaels.
My name is Lauren Michaels. You're Asian.
Okay.
I was being you there, Joe.
Okay. Yeah.
I wasn't being me. 'Cause I'm
I
not
was thinking
Asian.
that I was like, wait, does Josh think Lorne Michaels is Asian? Like, what's
I didn't know for a second whether or not you
He's
thought I
Canadian.
thought Lauren
It's a-
Michaels was
there's
Asian,
a
or maybe you thought
difference.
that I thought I was Asian. I know I'm not Asian.
What if I just found out
You know
today
that
that you're
Canada
Asian?
isn't in Asia.
Or that
right?
you found out that I thought I was Asian. That'd be even funnier. There's got to be like a mental illness or something that like someone like decides and thinks that they like legitimately thinks they're a different race, right?
Probably. There's mental illness.
Or
for
there's
everything.
like piece of a different, like a possibility for some sort of mental illness. I don't think it may be a specific one, but like we're
mean,
like
there are-
Joe, you as an Asian man would like be like, I think I'm black. Like,
I mean, there are people with face blindness, so there's probably that.
face blindness is such a funny thing, though. It's like, it's sad for whoever in real life has it, because I've definitely never met anyone with face blindness. You have, for real?
That's how I know that it exists.
Oh my God.
I didn't know that it existed.
Okay, I wanted to finish the podcast.
I raised my hand. So
But now we need to talk about you and face
I'll
blindness.
just quickly. So I had a coworker who he would go like, it's Jimmy, like to every person he would say like it's and then their name, and it was like we joked about it like behind his back, because like
Oh no.
why does like he did a lot of weird things, but like that was one of them, and it was like so we joked about we would do that to each other. It's, and then we found out that it's because he's taking a moment, because he's seeing us by our other features, like your height
Yeah.
and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just taking his brain a second to figure out who you are. I
found
feel like
that
a
out
terrible
later.
person now.
Oh,
But he
You are a terrible
specifically
person.
said like, "Hey, I have face blindness" to you, or
No,
like,
eventually, he stopped working there, and his wife was working there, and she kind of spilled the beans one day.
so he's married to someone whose face he's never seen.
That's a good. Well, yeah.
How do you kiss the bride? Ah!
Well, see you next week.
No, we gotta go first.
What do we have to do?
Face blindness is amazing. That's amazing. That man's a hero. He really is. Well, what do we think overall,
Oh God, no! I think no way.
Jimmy?
Honestly, after the first episode, I was like, okay, I could see where things could, like, I could see potential in that first episode. After watching the last episode, it just seems like just WB drama. Insert some J.J. Abrams weirdness for maybe a couple episodes.
Well, I'm a hard no.
On Felicity or face blindness?
Man, I'm a hard no. I don't want face blindness by any means. But, like, Felicity is... The first part of the show, I was like... I think while we started watching episode 2, I was like, man, they're, like, overbearing. Those kids are overbearing. They're just so over the top. But, like, that's just kind of, like, super teen drama. And that's, like... It was just a little bit more than Dawson's Creek, really. Like, really not that much more. But more than it was. And... no, I can't do it. And then at the end of the last episode was just a clip show. And I thought that was, like, almost insulting to, like, the viewer. Like, I really, like, having not even viewed the whole thing. There's two things that, there's a couple things that I just don't like while watching TV. And that's, like, when they're insulting to the viewer, especially. When they, like, kind of say something, they very specifically kind of, like, broadcast something maybe in an episode that seems important. Like, look at this guy's eyes. Like, you know, like, because some guy killed somebody or something like that. And then later in the episode, they, like, repeatedly, like, they go back to his eyes kind of thing. Like, they kind of replay that scene again. And it's like, you already did it. You already showed us what was important. And you showed it to us already. Like, don't, like act like the people that are watching this TV show, like, are smart and understand how to, like, do things. Like, don't insult my intelligence. And so that's, like, one thing. And then the other thing is fucking clip shows.
Because, like, clip shows, like, doing that on, like, a show level.
Well, I mean, just, like, in any show level, like, a lot of, like, a 90s thing to do was to be like, it's our 100th episode or, like, our X episode kind of thing.
Yeah, sure.
And they would run a clip show.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know what you would do with that show? You just wouldn't watch it that week.
Well, I've already started taking notes for our 100th episode clip show.
It's just going to be me bitching.
About clip shows.
Clips of
Every
me
week
bitching
you bitch about a clip show.
But like, it's like, you don't do that. Don't do clip show. Like, that's why the shows today don't do clip shows. They really don't, because people get mad about it. The Office kind of tried to do a clip show, which I think is, like, the most recent show for me to think that to do a clip show.
Yeah.
They got, like, audited by somebody, and it was, like, when Dunder Mifflin got, like, bought by the other company, they kind of did a clip show. And I've watched The Office every once in a while, and I've always skipped that episode. I've, like, literally never seen that whole
Yeah, because there's
episode.
no reason to.
Because why would I?
You've already seen
You've
those
seen
clips. Yeah.
So my thought about this is, why would I watch Felicity if I don't even want to watch the last episode now? That's what I think. Joe, what do you think?
I think if you're going to watch even just the last episode, like, you get all of Felicity in just the last episode.
That's true.
That's
I
it.
do like how
Except you
different we
don't
are.
find out what the hell happened to Kimberly in Ranger.
Yeah. I feel yeah. I feel like I probably would have been upset if I were watching this show and the last episode was a clip show. But having just watched 2 episodes, yeah, a clip show is fine.
I mean,
Yeah. Once we got past the stuff we'd already seen in the first episode, which is half of it.
I agree with you there. I mean, as far as, like, the way we're watching it right now, I guess it was like, oh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
But I definitely am watching these in the vein of, like, I've seen the whole show, even though obviously we haven't.
Okay.
Right.
And I'm just, like, insulted by that.
Yeah, in terms of, like, me watching the show, like, I was not super into the first episode. I was kind of bored by the characters, wasn't really invested in anything that was going on. And then now that I've seen the finale clip show and saw what did go on, I'm just sort of like, great. None of that was very interesting anyway.
Yeah, it was basically a shitty Dawson's Creek. A poor man's Dawson's Creek. for me.
Dawson's Creek is so much better than this show.
If I was doing a clip show, I would put a lot more Turk Turkleton in it. That's for sure. doing great, funny stuff.
Turk was great. All right, well, let's get this show on the road, and by that I mean end it. Jimmy,
Yeah.
where can people find us if they want suggestions about shows and whatnot?
Internet.com.
Yes. Be more
/
specific.
At Effendell on Twitter and Effendell Podcast. At Effendell Podcast at gmail.com. On the YouTubes, on the Facebooks.
There is YouTubes and Facebooks. The
on
YouTube
the
is
Stitcher.
currently very hard to find. There's a lot of things on YouTube
sure.
called
It's
First and
a
Last.
mystery.
Yeah, I guess I always search when I search for it on YouTube and on Stitcher. I search Tiger Castle. I think I find it that way.
Yep, that's a good way to do it. Figure that out. Well, make suggestions on those. We'd love to hear from you guys. And just don't watch Felicity. And after that, we will see you next week.